Hello, everybody, and welcome to Highway 12 Winery. Here we are in the cellar today, bringing you a tailgate tasting Cellar Club edition. I'm Paul. That is Christina right there. And what a great opportunity to come to you during harvest time here in Sonoma Valley, specifically, like we said, in the cellar here where all the magic is happening, and to talk about a couple of the wines that we're featuring this month in the Cellar Club, of which Christina's pouring for me right now. Perfectly done. Um, right now in Sonoma Valley, we're looking at temperatures of about 82 degrees. It's perfect harvest conditions. However, uh, it hasn't been. Let's just say it's been a pretty challenging last 4 weeks here in California. But the air is cleared. The air quality index is back to where it needs to be. The vineyards are thriving. Most of them are very much thriving, and we've taken in Chardonnay, we've taken in Cabernet Franc, we've taken in Merlot, a little bit of Syrah, and a little bit of Zinfandel as well. So we're active here at the winery. All the tanks around us right now are full of wonderful fruit from 2020 that are fermenting, and we can't wait to bring those to you in a couple years. But about 2 or 3 years ago, we were working on these wines in this cellar as we speak. And our first wine that we're bringing you this September Cellar Club series is our 2017 Merlot, brand new release. I mean, when it comes to Merlot, we're big fans of it. We tell everybody that. A lot of our blends have Merlot in it as well. The unique thing about this 2017 Merlot, and every year we release our Merlot, is that it's 100% Merlot, and it all comes from the Cellar Ranch, and that's the single vineyard that we're going to be featuring today with both of these wines. 100% Merlot, Sonoma Valley, single vineyard, full, rich, robust, lengthy, great tannin. 2017 vintage was phenomenal. It was an early harvest, early ripening year, of which we were very fortunate enough to retain a lot of the fruit. And then, I don't know, Christina likes to describe this wine as a bit more, it drinks like a cab, sort of.
It does. It over delivers, and our Merlot is always over delivered. I remember back in the days of Sideways and silly movies like that, who kind of destroyed Merlot for a while for us. I've always loved it. It's always been good, and this one, it does. I hate to say it drinks like a cab, but it drinks more like a big cab than a Merlot. It's a huge wine with a really great price tag, and I hope you love it as much as I do. Pairs with everything, but we like it with Greek Lamberters because that herbal tzatziki comes in and just pairs really well with the herbaceousness of a good Merlot, 100% Merlot. Pork chops with a cherry compote or cherry reduction, amazing. You can put your shoe on the barbecue with some nice sauce, and it would cover it. So cheers on this one.
So now that we've tasted the Merlot, we're moving on to the brand new release of what we've called year in and year out our flagship. Flagship is defined by most wineries as the penultimate, and that's not to say that all of our wines aren't the penultimate of what we are producing, but our single vineyard Bordeaux blend really is special to us because it's the first wine that we ever produced, starting with the 2004 vintage with our Highway 12 label on it. So it's really how Highway 12 Winery was born, and it tells the story of our wine highway here in Sonoma Valley, specifically the Cellar Ranch, of which the Merlot is featured from. But this particular wine, single vineyard, Bordeaux blend, equal parts Cabernet Sauvignon, Cabernet Franc, and Merlot. The blend has stayed the same since the 2004 vintage. We haven't skipped the vintage, and when we talk about the vineyard and what this vineyard has been able to provide us year in and year out is wonderful growing conditions. The banana belt of the Sonoma Valley. It's about 7 miles to the north of us here at the winery. It's the warmest part of Sonoma Valley, volcanic hotbed. It has the Rutherford Dust component that comes right under the Mayakama Mountains. There's a swath of land called the Rutherford Dust that leaks into Sonoma Valley. The ranch is right on it there. The Serres family been growing grapes for multiple generations here in Sonoma Valley, near and dear to our program. And this wine, so we refer to it as a flagship because it's really the founding wine of who we are and what we do. In terms of the style, year in and year out, it's going to change. It's very vintage variant, if you will, but we're never going to release a wine that isn't stupendously awesome. This particular release is the 2018, and we release it this time of year every year. And we only produce a small amount, I guess I would say. I'm not going to give you the exact number because I don't know it off the top of my head, but it's not very much. We're usually sold out of it by February of the next year. In terms of food, once again, Christina's here, and she is going to take it away in terms of what we're going to do on the food side here.
I think one thing came to mind with both of us when we were talking about this vintage and coming into the fall season and not going so heavy on the stewed meats and the things like I like to pair fall things with, but a beautiful, substantial, hearty pasta. Meat, tomato, a little bit of cream, a creamy bolognese would be perfect here. Get the farm fresh garden herbs if you can. Again, with the herbaceousness of this wine, it's going to be perfect. Nothing says homey, cozy, couch, fall, home, Netflix like a good bowl of bolognese.
Little cold spell, cold snap.
And I think this is the banana belt today because it's really hot here today.
It has warmed up very nicely.
Yeah,
Which
cheers.
is gonna goose the vineyards rather well over the next 2 to 3 weeks as harvest continues. So we're gonna be wrapping it up here in about 2 to 3 weeks in terms of getting grapes off of the vine. That doesn't mean the work is done here. The work only begins when the grapes come to us. The growers get to tuck away and clean up all their equipment while we administer to all of our fermentations and pressing and barreling and doing a lot of wine work to where then hopefully by mid-November, we're kicking back a little bit and enjoying the fruits of everyone's labor and a wonderful harvest. So we will be back with most of you in October for two awesome selections. And these two in particular are really a great way to start off the season. So we hope you enjoy them. And thanks for being valued, treasured Cellar Club members.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Cheers.